guys, you guys have joined today for a webinar, and I have to be honest with you, I am not a massive fan of webinars per se. And I think the reason for that is that a lot of the webinars that I tend to have attended in the past tend to be a lot of slides, a lot of talking about high level stuff. And we don't want to do that. What we want to do with our new series, the CRO Playbook series, is give you actionable, practical things that you can do on your site right now. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So guys, thank you very much for joining us. If you are joining live, please do feel free to put comments and questions into the chat panel of the different channel that you might be listening on. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that obviously we try and answer those as we go through the course of today's session. But if not, we will get in touch with you afterwards and make sure we answer those as well. So at this stage then, guys, what I'm going to do is introduce my two co-presenters for today. And that is Matt Brindley and Nermin Canik. So I think what we'll do first of all is just do a little bit of an introduction, and then we can do introduction as well from each of us. First of all, so myself, Adam, Nermin, who is also from my team, who is a CRO strategist here, and Matt Brindley, who is part of the Yotpo team, as a senior partner manager, managed services lead for EMEA. So Matt, great to have you on, and Nermin, thank you for joining me again. I'm glad I didn't scare you off last time, Nermin, and Matt, thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, I mean, I think, you know, guys, like I said there, what we are going to do today, it's all practical stuff, isn't it? It's all things that you can look at right now, assess whether it's right for you, look at your data, and then go and implement. And I think, you know, for you guys listening here, do stick around, because what we are going to do once we've gone through those practical examples is that we are actually going to do some live teardowns for some of those sites we had submitted before the event today, and we'll make sure that we get through as much detail as possible and give you some insights so we can get started with. So before we do get into that, just a little bit of an introduction from me about Blend Commerce. If you're not aware of who Blend are, we are a Shopify CRO agency, and what that effectively means is that if you have a Shopify-based business, we do try and do two things. The first one is for customers coming to your site for the first time, can we get them to buy something as much as possible? And secondly, if you have a Shopify store, you have customers coming back, can we get them to keep coming back and keep spending more? And ultimately, what me, Nermin, and the rest of the team do at Blend is trying to help some of the brands, like you can see on the screen here, do that by increasing their conversion rate, increasing their AOV, and obviously a lot of the other good stuff that Matt also does over at Yotpo as well. So Matt, tell us a bit more about Yotpo before we get started.
It would be my pleasure. So Yotpo is a retention marketing platform. Our main focus really is to grow D2C growth, and that's across a wide variety of products. So that's reviews, loyalty referrals, SMS, and email marketing. Now, we work with brands of all different sizes, so we're really here to help brands scale from start right up to, you know, the enterprise space. So we've got a very varied range of clients, and with that, it gives us an awful lot of expertise. With that, our client base is around 35,000 now. So linking into what we're doing here with Blend and being a long-standing partner, it's not just about the acquisition of new customers. It's about how we can work together to really drive those conversion rates and make sure we're getting the most of the Yotpo platform across our full product and tech stack, and make use of all those synergies as well. But some call-out brands are Princess Polly, Moroccan Oil, and Steve Madden, just for some recognition there.
I think I was going to say as well, Matt, you know, the reason as well that we've done this together too is I think there's sometimes a bit of perception out there that with merchants, tech providers and service providers like yourselves can't necessarily help with that CRO side. And it really isn't far from the truth, further from the truth, because ultimately this is what you guys are doing day in, day out. You've got obviously a whole suite of tools you guys have available, and you're helping merchants get the best of them. And by doing that, you are playing into part of that CRO process, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. And I think with the products as well and the evolution, yes, we are fundamentally here to build advocacy and reviews and help conversion rates, but we also roll out a lot of features as we continue to grow and scale. So they ultimately, you know, if we've got some clients in the past that we've worked with, or whether they're net new, we can deep dive into what is being used and actually how we can impact that further. So it's never kind of like a flat journey with Yotpo. We're always here to make sure that we're working with our agencies on clients, whether that's net new or existing as well. So yeah, it's really about maximizing conversion, how we can increase that lifetime value, and how we continue to add value through the platform.
100%. And look, guys, on that note, I think, look, let's dive into this, because like Matt said there today, what we want to do is make sure that you are getting the best of the platforms that you use, whether it is Yotpo, whether it is other tools, or whether it's Shopify in general. And some of the things that we're going to deliver to you today are going to be things that you can do right now and try and test out for yourselves. So what we'll do then is, without any further ado from me, we will get into the 7 tactics that actually work. And at this point then, I think what I'm going to do is hand over to Nermin, and please take us through tactic 1.
Yes, first of all, I would like to say every tactic will not present the same results for every website, but we choose 4 different tactics. We tested this tactic maybe 10 times for the 10 different clients in the different industries, and it always wins. So just a note. Let's start. Okay. Could you please yourself? For example, you would like to order shoes, sport shoes. Which category you will choose? Sport or door shoes. Alternatively, you will visit the fashion woman shoes. So every time it will be additional cost for your brain. So we observed lots of visitors prefer using the search bar. One time we analyze the data by gender. Men prefer using the search bar. Women prefer using the category menu, but maybe different brands have different results. Anyway, we recommend testing, placing the search bar as open, because your visitors can easily reach the all products. Also, you can show the popular trend search queries or popular product. You can show the especially if any visitor land your product detail page, easily they can discover the different product, and yes, bounce rate will be changed. And one time we tested, maybe you can share the results, Adam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So you have the results here, yeah, from the exposed search.
Yes, you can see we tested on Petronix. They sell as full pump products, and we placed the search bar, open search bar, and we observed the increase it 22 increase in site search queries, and you can see average order value 4-5 increase in average order value, 25% in average purchase revenue per user. Huge result actually, and we highly recommend adding a search bar, testing a search bar instead of the search icon.
The other thing here is, I think what is also good about this is that it's kind of a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Because like you said there, the results that we had by doing this, we can see here, but also with more of that search data that you then get, you can then run more tests off the back of that. And I remember kind of with a couple of the brands that we've done this with, we learned so much more because the quantity of search data that we had was so much higher. That then gave us more ideas of further A/B tests. So, you know, in addition to kind of what you described there, it does actually give more value further down the line, doesn't it?
Yes, one time one of the clients, we observed lots of visitors use a Disney blah 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 products, but they do not sell the Disney products. And later they decide, okay, we have a marketing opportunity. Let's try to selling these products, and we always recommend analyze your search usage data. You can reach the no results, for example, no results keywords, all the most searched keywords you can use. You can create a new category page.
Because I remember in terms of those search results as well, we did an audit recently, and I think 35% of all the searches that happened on site actually returned no results, which was quite scary, really, wasn't it? And you think, you know, the amount of time that we spend, particularly when it comes to acquisition, and making sure that we are ranking for the right keywords, making sure that we are driving traffic in the right way. But there's all this data sat there that at the moment, a lot of the time we see has never really been looked at or never really been tried to optimize. So focusing on your on-site search can actually pay real dividends here.
Yes. By the way, you need to sure about the search quality. If you think your search bar, search engine, internal search does not work very well, please do not emphasize. And we advise for if you think search engine works very well, yes, you can place, you can emphasize.
Excellent. If anyone has used the exposed search or is using exposed search on mobile, do let us know in the comments. We're interested to see how that's gone for you. Cool. So let's look at the second tactic here.
Yes, we always observe the same pattern. Maybe, at Blend, we do CRO audits, and every week we had a chance to review the different brands, and we observe the same pattern. Unfortunately, lots of brands do not show the express checkout option until the checkout or until the cart driver. And brands maybe thinks, okay, credit card is ready, I will finish everything. But maybe someone trying to put baby sleep, they will use mobile phone one hand, or someone hitting mobile phone during the meeting. They would like to subscribe your platform, and they need to finish everything in a few minutes. They don't have a chance to find the credit card, another option. And so we advise, if you have a express checkout option, depends. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's okay. We lost it for a second.
Sorry. Okay. If you have an express checkout option, you can place on PDP or the express checkout. You can analyze the order by payment type. For example, maybe you have 4 different payment options. It's not possible to place the PDP or the express checkout. We at Blend, we always analyze the revenue by payment type. PayPal is popular. Place the PayPal for this brand. Or another brand is we observe the Shopify or the GPay. Let's do it. Let's place it. And in this case, you can see we place it the express checkout option, the cart driver, and average revenue per user increase it, and 75, and average revenue. I need to zoom in. And 35.6 increase it in average order value, and huge increase e-commerce conversion rate improvement, 37.3.
I think the thing for me with this one, Nermin, is obviously, look, in terms of this data about your different sales channels or different payment providers that you have, this information is so readily available in Shopify. So I guess it's very easy to find this out, isn't it, from that perspective, to be able to then go and run this kind of test?
Sorry, can you say again? I checked it.
Yeah, so I was kind of saying, for anyone listening, is kind of saying, look, well, in terms of doing this, it's very easy to go and find out where actually your sales have come from in terms of different payment processes. So being able to work out that PayPal is, for example, your strongest revenue channel is pretty easy to do. And then you can then implement based on this as well, because I think, with this particular one as well, I know previously we have the express checkout options, but equally putting then more notifications and obviously logos about payment processes on site is also something that we do quite a bit too, isn't it?
Yes, another option, display payment option, like on the PayPal logo, you can show the PDP, and later you can present the express checkout option.
In fact, I'm just going to stop you there for a second as well. We have a comment here from Chris. Thanks for this, Chris. So Chris says, but they can see express checkout options in checkout. Prefer not to clutter and confuse the cart, especially for our older demographic. What's your thoughts on that, Nermin?
It depends on the client industry, but I can say, unfortunately, lots of the visitor can't reach the checkout. They don't know they have your PayPal solution. They think, I need to fill the old form. I need to find my credit card. They will cancel maybe. They will delay the shopping journey. So it depends on the website. First of all, we check the revenue by payment type. If we observe or visitors tend to use express checkout PayPal, okay, let's place the express checkout on the PDP, or only, like Adam told us, maybe we can place only PayPal logo. We can show a logo, but yes, it's a PayPal available on the checkout, and you can you can use on the checkout. We can only show that. Another things extremely important, you need to check quantity per order. For example, if you sell 5 order per transaction, Maybe you will place the PDP on the express checkout. Okay, someone will order main product and they will leave. But if you sell average 5 product per order, maybe you can place the express checkout only cart driver or only checkout. So in summary, it depends on your business, on your data.
Got to test, haven't we? That's the
Yes.
thing ultimately here. It's about running these tests, getting statistical significance, and seeing if it works. So yeah, absolutely. Chris, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Cool.
I was also going to say as well on that, it's also with Express Checkout, it's also looking at your tech stack, because we integrate, for example, with like ShopPay. So, if you go onto a page or a page that is using our loyalty product, you'll have a little reminder about the points there. And you're like, oh, actually, I know I'm going to require that point, but I actually have this amount. You can then click your Express Checkout and your points balance will be pulled in, and you can also allocate that on top of your payment methods. So it's also looking at how you can integrate this wider, obviously with other elements such as whoever you're using. Like you can have rebuy, for example, but it's just depending on your full tech stack and how you want to integrate and utilize it. But I know that's one way that we really integrate specifically with like ShopPay and other providers is really make sure you're maximizing and increasing that participation rate in loyalty and ultimately your conversion as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Matt, this is one of the long-term problems, isn't it, with loyalty programs, I think, in general, is that what has happened in the past is loyalty has been seen as the thing that you set up. People accumulate points or they accumulate cash, whatever it might be, but we don't actually tell people on site the fact that they can use those things. And we still see it time and time again. I'm sure you guys sometimes do as well, that you've got to make sure that people are aware of that if they're going to use it, because sometimes loyalty can get a bad name. But ultimately, a lot of the time, it's because it's not been set up in a way that is signposting people to using those things. So yeah, great point. And it sounds like as well, Chris is going to run a test on that. So yeah, Chris, let us know how you get on. Cool. All right, excellent. So let's move on to the third tactic of today then.
Yes, in this case, we worked on the nutrition company and we observed, actually, we always observe the same pattern while conducting a usability test. Lots of visitors can't realize the difference between a one-time purchase or the subscription. For example, in this case, maybe lots of visitors have a concern. Okay, I will subscribe, but next month I am planning to go holiday. And we conducted some research and why our visitors, potential subscriber, has a concern do not subscribe to our website. Later, we listed the benefits of the subscriptions. You can pause. You will save maybe 10% discount. Later, we showed the subscription benefits without click on the auto-ship subscription. Easily you can see, and later subscription rate was doubled, and it's an amazing result actually. Before you need to click on the auto ship, you need to check the subscription benefits. But in this case, we redesigned the PDP subscription array on one-time purchase, and easily I can I need to subscribe because I would like to get a discount. And I can pause, I can cancel easily, the not a commitment. And it works. And if you have a subscription business, we highly recommend testing to this idea. Another thing, testing. I checked it actually on my phone before your conference statistic and A/B test failure rate. Airbnb test, for example, 100 test, A/B test failure rate 92. For example, 9 of the 10 A/B tests fail, not a winner. But we learn. Okay, if we publish this idea without testing, our revenue will be hard. But at the moment, we can learn. Or Microsoft A/B test failure rate 66%. Amazon, perfect 50%. Half of the A/B tests, unfortunately, lost. Not unfortunately, luckily, we learn. So yes, let's test.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Nermin. I mean, I think the thing with subscription is, as well as, that again, and I'm sure, Matt, you probably observe the same here, is the expectation of subscriptions is a lot more now than basically subscribe and save, isn't it? People are looking to understand, is there actually a tangible benefit to them beyond that? And I think we still see it time and time again, is the expectation. You put a subscription product up there, you get 10% off a month, and hey, you're going to make sales. It doesn't really work like that anymore, does it?
No, and I think there's been also a big shift in terms of how, because I know we work on incentivizing certain like cosmetic brands, for example, we'll talk on a little bit later on. Sol de Janeiro, they're like rewarding customers for getting to 3 purchases or 5. So it's like being how cleverly you can integrate it into your wider focus or KPIs. However, it's also one of the things that I'm really doubling down on here is like cancellation reasons and stuff like that. So you've got a lot of data at your fingertips into the subscription realms. So, for example, if you're using a product and you're subscribed to it and they change it, or they end that product. However, 6 months later, that customer love that product or cancel because of a certain ingredient. You can then go back 6 months later when you've got a new product development and be like, hey, the product is back better than ever before. Here's an extra subscription benefit. So it's also about how you can use the data on the reasons for skipping or whatever it may be, just so you can be more clever on your subscription model. And then tying that into your overall tech stack as well, whether it's, your, for example, we've got a brand, Dime Beauty in the US. So they're one of our loyalty customers. They use one of personalized merch providers. When you can pinpoint that customer's purchase X product 3 times. So you can send a communication saying, subscribe to this product now and redeem these points against it. You get to the checkout extension in Shopify, and because of the personalization provider, it's also then upselling other products that you can subscribe to, and then it's pulling in our star rating. So it's like how you can conjoin it to not only get that subscription, but then also upsell as well. But I think it's just placement throughout your site as well, and reminding that subscriptions are there and they are hyper-personalized depending on the category or product.
I think you've absolutely nailed it there, and that's absolute gold, Matt. And I think hopefully anyone listening is your subscriptions, completely and utterly agree. I mean, the cancellation reasons and using that as data, I still think is handled relatively poorly by the vast majority of people. You can learn so much from it. So yeah, thank you so much on that. And your little comment from a guy called Rich, never heard of him, but he says, well, hello there. So yeah, there we go. Love you, Rich. Good to have you on. Thanks for joining us. Cool. All right, let's get on then to tactical. Before we do please make sure you stick around, because we are going to be having our live teardowns once we've been through the tactics for today. So we're getting onto those in a few moments' time. So tactic number 4.
Yes, I will explain, but I would like to ask a question to our audience. In out of stock case, what is your next steps? Because I know some brands hide their products on the collection page, one option. Actually, we do not advise. I will explain because of the SEO and another thing. Or another option is the best practice. Okay, this product is out of stock. Notify me when available feature you can use. We will inform you. We will collect your email data. We can target you easily, non-paid remarketing. And actually, the best practice we always recommend. And in Klaviyo, 30 minutes is a possible you can integrate as a pre-order. And another thing, actually, we did it, a different thing. It's not a common, actually. In out of stock case, our brands has a notify me feature, but we placed, yes, this product is out of stock, but you can like the another products, similar products. We show the similar products product recommendation model. You can easily realize, because on the product image case, there's a info bar, and end of the notify me, you can reach the similar products. Actually, it works very well. It's very, very basic idea, maybe. You can see e-commerce conversion rate 4.6 increased, and notify me available option usage increased in 8.5%. And in revenue per visitor is unexpected thing from the brand. Okay, let's try it, but we don't know, maybe our visitor do not has a needs. Let's see. And end of the A/B test, it reached the statistical significance. It increased it as 7% in revenue per visitor. Like a offline experience, you visit the store and you ask it, okay, I would like to buy this dress, and sales executive never, sorry, we don't have this product. You never leave the store. Sorry, we do not have this product, but I would like to show the similar product, the popular product, and I am sure you will like. And I highly recommend, always you need to think about your business, offline business. You can contact, okay, in offline, any sales executive do it. Okay, let's try to implement this attitude on the online. And we highly recommend using this approach.
I think the thing is, in a minute, and it's a good point, isn't it? Sometimes in e-commerce, we can often think in sort of very binary terms, of a sense of, look, if they're not going to, this product is out of stock, they don't want anything. And you're absolutely right. You know, that it's just basic human psychology. We think in that mindset, in that physical store situation, they're not just going to go, oh, we're going to walk out. They're going to scour the rails. They're going to ask a sales assistant. So I think having that mentality and then trying to translate that into tech sometimes can be quite a challenge, because we see them as two separate things. But I guess ultimately we're just talking about people's shopping behaviors and habits, aren't we?
Yes. So I love Yotpo. Why? Because every time they give me extra, for example, loyalty points, extra discount, like a coffee. If I visit 3 times per week, they will give a free cake for me, and maybe you can use a Yotpo.
Love that. Cool. Thank you.
I was going to say as well, there's a trend, well, not a trend, but a lot of the brands that I'm really into at the moment, like Acid Running or Pure Sport, for example, kind of using the back in stock in a totally different way, because it may be a case that you want to create that FOMO. So you're capturing those data. So you've got your back in stock flow. You may even have stock, but it's also seeing who your really valued customers are, who they're engaging with those flows, who are opening those emails subsequently. So it can also be used in that way as well. That's a very different way to be in if you've got that hyper engaged audience, but you are seeing a lot of brands popping up, especially in that boutique nature, and really maximizing the use of the active out of stock that way. And I think it's becoming more and more of a way of engaging with those customers. But you're right in what you're saying, it is how you communicate with those customers as well, while you're managing those expectations.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. That's great. All right, cool. Let's move on then to tactic number 5.
And this one's me, isn't it? So it's how we can make the buying decision easier for the customer. So one thing about Yotpo and how we promote or how we kind of lead the market in reviews is, first of all, in the collection of data. So it's not just, leave your review. It's like custom questions. Now, those custom questions are really which come into their own when they're displayed on site. So Sol de Janeiro, for example, you can see on the example on the right here, I've got not only a summary of the product off those customer questions that were collected, but they've also got some really cool features. So they've got one of our latest elements, which is our AI review summary. So I call it a bit of the Amazon effect in e-com. So you can see the top trending topics. So even before that customer's engaged with your content, they're able to get a summary of what's been said about that product. So they're already becoming more informed. Now, what else we can do is then really double down on getting to the right content at the right time. There's a really interesting stat here, and it's ingrained in my memory, that if you don't have all these featured, it's great having thousands of reviews, but actually 5% or less of your customers are getting to that second page. So really, as a customer, especially if it's like cosmetics or even, your supplements, whatever it may be, I want to know those reviews I'm reading are most relevant to me. So Sol de Janeiro, you can put your skin type, your age, what you love, and your hydration type of your skin. So basically, you're reading a review from a twin on the other side of the world, but that product is best matched. So it has a significant impact on the conversion rate. But these are like features that some merchants might not have or might not know that we have available. So again, referencing why we're here is why we work so closely with Blend to put that in front of the customers. We also see as well, when you don't have like advocacy on there, whether it's the written review or the photos or videos, 90%, 92% of customers hesitate to make that purchase without those reviews. So it just shows how it has that significant impact. And a call out stat for Sol de Janeiro is 82% of customers are linked to reviews. Now, obviously, that differs in terms of like bookmarks and verticals. Cosmetics are hyper activated by reviews, but it always has that significant impact. And Yotpo, within our customers, we're always somewhere in that background having a significant impact on those conversion rates of customers on site.
I mean, Matt, I think, look, this is one of my favorite things that you guys have done recently. And I think, you know, the reason for it is because we are always banging the drum about reviews, and more in the case of using the data to help you then sell more. And I think, yeah, this particular method here as well of being able to then actually have a different slice of those reviews is brilliant, because ultimately that is, I guess, the key question in most people's minds, that when you're looking as a customer through Amazon, for example, if you're looking at a product, you are reading those reviews to try and say, is that person writing like I write? Are they like me? Are they buying it for the same reason I bought it? You're circumventing all that thing that you do manually, and you're literally putting it in front of their face. So I think this is a phenomenal feature.
I am spotting a new trend on the back of it, though. We'll see, especially it's more in the fashion realms, but a lot of brands are coming to us to be like, actually, we want to collect all this data so we can see what is being said about our customers, and actually 9 times out of 10 manipulated and maybe just having a size or, you know, as you can see here, just that bar of scent absorption or hydration, and then having the summary hidden coming out on a slider. So it's a lot more than just reviews. It's that full community element and how that relates to your product. So then you can amend your product and increase your conversion rate because the sizing's 10 times better. So it's all about how we can inform that content. And I see it much more now as like a community tool, you know, with the integrations into TikTok and whatever it may be. It's about tiring the whole community around the website as well.
Fantastic. Love that. Great stuff. Cool. Okay, guys, if you do have any questions or comments, do put them in the chat. And on that note, what we'll do is we'll go on to tactic number 6.
So that brings us on to how we can drive customers or buyers' confidence with visual UGC. So one part of the Yotpo's review product is the ability to create content, whether that's from reviews or whether it's from Instagram into shoppable Instagram widgets. And someone that does that really well is Doc Martin. So it's almost like another reference point. So often when you see Yotpo on site, so Doc Martin, as you can see it here, you've got a customer wearing the boots on the PDP, you've got photos coming through in the review widget. We've got people like Tropics or Clobo Jewelry that have these shoppable visual UGC galleries throughout the customer journey. Now, this real power of this is if you're a brand that typically struggles from bounce rates, you know, from clicking on an Instagram post and being taken off site, Yotpo keeps the journey connected. So customers are kept on site. Now, Tropics, for example, they do a really good job of this, where if there is Tropics Joe, who's flogging products down the street to her neighbor or whatever it may be, she's uploaded that photo, 3 products are tagged. So Tropics come in and tag those multiple products, and then they backlink them to the individual product pages. So all this customer is going around on loops on the visual UGC, but it's having a significant impact on those conversion rates, typically around 200% when we know that those customers have engaged. And then another call out stat is 40% of customers are likely to buy a product online after watching a video. So it's not always static, it is pulling in whatever content those customers are leaving. I always find as well, we have like a way of authenticating it. So we reach out to these customers and be like, hey, we'd like to use your photo, hashtag yes, hashtag no. And I think that also emphasizes the community. And, you know, with Tropics, Joe down the road is going to have her 5 minutes of fame because she's featured on the website, and it's creating that hyper engaged audience. But we do this day in, day out. And for Doc Martens, we've collected 164,000 images via visual UGC and displayed them through the customer journey. And one point here to mention is it doesn't stop on site again. So you can use this content in Facebook, Instagram, whoever your ESP provider, you can integrate it into your comms there afterwards. And like I said as well, you can use all these photos and videos as well to syndicate to TikTok if that's a new channel that you're wanting to adopt.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, the other thing as well, Matt, with UGC, like you say, you've got here then the tool to be able to collate it, to verify it, use it elsewhere. And I think one of the things that we often see works very well is using UGC in terms of the main set of product images that are connected to the PDP. Because again, it's, for me, I feel that the psychology behind it is it's adding that trust factor and seeing kind of that real life image of it kind of being used in play, rather than having to then go to a review section as well, where it obviously bolsters it. But I think, again, like you say, you're generating so much gold, and it's like we talked about with the search bar earlier. If you've got data, if you've got information, you've got resources, just bloody well use it. Use it to sell more stuff. You've got to do it.
The thing is, everyone wants to see a product in situ. So it's so adaptable to every single product range.
And I would like to contribute. I would like to share a real user behavior. I will say again, at Blend, we conduct the unmoderated user test. If there is no reviews on the product detail page or user-generated content, or potential buyers, consumers would like to learn another consumer's experience, later, next step, visit the search engine, brand name, plus reviews. And it will be very dangerous. Why? Because your competitor will target your audience, and you need to add reviews because another competitors steal your audience easily. And yes, again, let's do it.
Absolutely. And I think, the thing is here is, if you're collecting reviews already, which I imagine majority of people who are tuning into this are, like Matt has shown here, there is so much more that you can do with it. So I think take that time, take that extra step, and start using some of these features that you're not necessarily aware of, or indeed consider other tools. If you're not, for example, using Yotpo to be able to do this, then have a play around with using this as a way to try and do that. So Matt, if we can go on to the final tactic from David, tactic number 7, that'd be great.
Yeah, 100%. So this is delving into the world of loyalty and how you can leverage customer data to personalize those rewards. And we've covered various ways of collecting data. And the beautiful thing about Yotpo is that it pulls that all in. So not is it only collecting the data from our own products, reviews, or what's going on in email and SMS and how customers are responding. It's Shopify, it's Rebuy, it's Nosto, it's whoever it may be, and how we're integrating cars. That allows us then to really double down on that customer data and treat every single customer different. So there's 2 main standout areas that we're going to talk about here, and that's personalized reminders. So we'll come on to maybe some examples in the live audits, but you can send targeted reward reminders when customers are close to earning a reward. This could be relatable to the brands without going into segmentation. Liability, if you've got, let's talk major figures, but 5 million of liability and loyalty, let's put a year expiry on that and let your customers know, because you could have 3,000 customers with X amount of points that are about to expire. Send a communication, next minute you see a spike in your spend over a certain amount of time. But also you can really tailor and encourage those customers to make that purchase. So, so a customer is a loyalty and they've put a product in their basket and then they've abandoned. We'll send them a timely communication saying, actually, you can redeem £10 off this, or you can redeem against another product from our category, as well as that product, to really add that value. And that tends to really drive that participation rate up. So it's about really how you can use that data to remind those customers with personalized techniques in order to get them back into that sales cycle and increase that lifetime value. But with that as well, something else that we have the ability to is really tailor the rewards. So if you are a clothing brand and, I'm buying jeans, sometimes it's quite hard if you've launched a range of hoodies, to get that customer to move over. So firstly, what you could do is send an incentive to your top customers to say, hey, we're going to give you £10 off our latest range of X. And actually, if you leave a review after that purchase, we'll give you an extra £10 off. So it's like how you can be strategic. Then you get your reviews from your most engaged customers, publish on site, and then you remind in the communications. But it can go through anything. It could be, your birthday's coming up, tailor the rewards that you're getting here. Your top VIP tiers, let's do a points multiplier this coming weekend. Or this product's coming back in stock, so let's give a discount for our top VIP customers. So it's about how you can be really clever to tailor all the data that you have, and then use the power of Yotpo to treat every single customer different and really personalize that journey. And by doing that, we typically see that 163% average increase in repeat purchase rate, and 89% increase in average revenue per customer. And one thing as well, we've recently done a huge campaign of what customers want from loyalty and how they respond. And we've done that across every single vertical in the Loyalist campaign. And that is a really invaluable resource if you are a retailer, you're wanting to know how to personalize your loyalty output. So we can talk about that another point, but it's a really nice way of, personalizing. Make sure you're using the data because it is king.
No, and I think, look, Matt, what's been great about today so far is I think, look, all the examples you guys have both covered off is that there's probably a lot of people watching this who are saying, look, we collect this data, we observe these things going on, but it's that final kind of 15% that you need to then do on top of that to actually make the most of it. And I think, that's what I always think about CRO is that ultimately most people have most of the core things that they need, but what they're not doing is that final part then to make more of the data that they've got. And it isn't, I think, a lot of the things that you covered today, both of you, it's not necessarily reinventing the wheel. It's more a case of just saying, making sure if you've got tools that you're using, A, use them to their fullest and test them. And secondly, if you've got data, use it as much as you possibly can to then make the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at here. We have a couple of comments, I think. What is Rich Evans saying? Will the best comment here win one of the suitcases? Asking for a friend. Can you, what's your comment on that, Matt?
I mean, I'm sure we have got some. Rich, send me a message after this and I can see what I can do.
No promises, Matt?
No, I'm not promising. No.
Good stuff. Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for that first section of today. Brilliant stuff. And I look really, really nice to see those really solid examples. And I hope obviously guys watching you found those useful. What we are going to do now, though, is go over to our teardowns for 3 different stores that we've had a look at. So thank you very much to all the brands that sent in your requests. Some of you, unfortunately, you weren't able to cover off. But if you did submit, we will be in touch with you afterwards. We do have some information to share with you just beyond this webinar as well. So hopefully you'll get some good insights and information from us as well. So what we'll do then is we'll move on to the live review time. And I think at this point, Nermin, are you going to share your screen? And
yes, I am. Yes, I can share.
Cool.
We announced it.
We are doing this. If you do have any questions about any of the things that have been recommended or any thoughts on them, just let us know as well. And we'll make sure that we cover those off as well. So who's our first brand then, Nermin?
Yes, we announced our webinar and the first 3 brands filled the form and reached it on the social media, which was randomly. But if you want to listen more idea, please send a message on the comments on the chat. Okay, first of all, I would like to say we don't have any data. For example, in this case, I don't have a scroll map data, but I would like to share based on my 10 years experience with you. We tested, you can see the collection page and the description area, and it will start the product detail page. Based on my experience, we tested a few times. If you show the loss of the comment, the description area, I know generally brands place the description for the SEO. Unfortunately, lots of visitor thinks they do not sell the product. Maybe blog page and click on the ads and they visit this page as a landing page. Okay, there's a blog page and they leave them from your website. And we recommend testing the showing only 2 lines and add a read more section for SEO, and you can show the product detail, product cards on the above the fold. First thing, we tested 2 times this month and it won. Another things, you can add a real accordion menu. For example, especially in this industry, is a popular care guide, size, dimensions. And return option, deliver option, you can add a description area, because your visitors who visit your different product detail page, they need to keep the same hierarchy on the PDP. Let's check the other products. In previous webinars, we showed implementing thumbnails. They can easily realize there's a, for example, maybe in the 5th image, there's a available video, but I can't realize because they only bullet. I need to scroll down.
I think I would just say on that page as well, as I saw that there is some reviews coming through on there, and they're doing a very good job of placing those reviews and star ratings on the discovery. But I think the visual UGC gallery would come into play here. Now, even if it's a starting company with like content and whatever that, you can pull content from Instagram as well. So brands can do that in isolation. But I think it's just nice to have that further imagery on that page, because you're showing community, and then you're not just having that one image. That's what I'd say on the PDP, really, in terms of like the reviews and the formatting of content.
As user-generated content, maybe it will be very helpful, because we know if there are lots of reviews, your potential buyers think, okay, they sell the lots of the products, I can trust them. It will be very helpful. Another thing, you can redesign the navigation menu, because in this industry, gift is very common. Maybe my boyfriend will buy a product from this website, but they don't know how I can choose this product. It's possible you can add a quiz, take the quiz to choose the right product, or you can add an image. We 2 times again tested adding a category, small icons. I can understand the difference, the product categories. And another thing, if your search engine works very well, let's test placing the as a search bar. Okay, I will check another brand.
I was just going to say on that as well. I think loyalty, just quickly, would play a really big part there, because it's obviously occasional. So you can collect data, when a purchase has been made with your reviews, QA question, that feeds into loyalty, but you can then spot trends of when people are purchasing. And then also, what they've purchased. So you can say, buy X products, like the matching necklace or stuff like that. So you can do cross-category, you can look at occasion, and you can pick up on trends of when people are purchasing, buying those products and what occasions.
I think for me, just sort of thinking about not necessarily at this brand, but just I guess jewelry in general. I often find when we've worked with jewelry brands, tapping into that gifting data is very often not often done that well, and trying to segment people based on the fact that they bought for a gift or not, simply just by asking a question at checkout, can be done relatively simple. Because I think, sometimes obviously what can happen is, in terms of the post-purchase experience, what happens is everyone gets treated as if they are either buying for themselves or buying a gift. And with knowing that information, that's really critical then to be able to know which campaigns to be able to send to different customers. So I think if you're in the jewelry space, it's worthwhile making sure that you be able to sort of segment those customers based on who they're buying for and when they're buying it.
100%.
So Nermin, take us on to the next brand.
Yes, second brands. Yes, another idea from these tactics, today's tactics, and we suggest testing highlighting the subscription benefits, not only discount. You can. I need to check. Maybe, it does not work. Maybe I need to visit another product detail page. Another thing, we tested default option is a subscription, and it worked. It increased the subscription rate. Another point, you can for example, you visit the offline shop, and you always think maybe twice time for the payments, and the same case, you can place the key value proposition below the add to cart. You can add, for example, 30 days return available, or free shipping, or again, Yotpo loyalty points, if it's possible, rewards points. If you subscribe, you will earn 10 USD for the, you can 10 USD credit you can use the next time, and is that possible?
I was just going to say as well, just that on the loyalty, why I've just been on this separately, there is definitely a rewards program there, but I think I've seen like take a quiz to see which product, etc. But when you go onto loyalty, there's no linkage of all those different elements together. So rewarding people for participating in that data. Another thing is it was very much, I think it's very social, but I think, which is always good in loyalty, but maybe like doubling down on 3 or more products purchased, or maybe giving a gold spend to increase that basket size. And then maybe as well, food and beverage is one that is really community led. Maybe tying together the reviews with synergies, because then you're building that community. I know there's like recipes and that whatnot on site, so it's about really tying that all together with loyalty reviews, personalization, etc. To really encompass and make sure that everything's singing from the same hymn sheet. Sounds like my dad then.
Especially on the cart driver, there is no product recommendation module, but there's a potential you can place the product recommendation module on the cart driver. Also free shipping or gift tracker if you order 100 USD products, and you will have a gift from us, and we can test adding a progress bar, free shipping, gift tracker. And let's check the checkout. If you use a Shopify Plus, you can add a key value proposition, client testimonials, because we know lots of visitors reach the checkout, they leave the checkout without purchase. So you need to pursue your visitor in their buying process, end of the step. If they use
to pull loyalty in there as well to redeem.
Yeah.
Your team. And that's all. Another last one. Yes.
Just before we do go any further as well, guys, I want to say, Chris just got a couple of comments. So Chris is from Indigo Silver, so the first brand you guys reviewed. So Chris, thanks for the feedback. And then the other comment that Chris had was, do you have any CRO data on the pros and cons of cart page versus cart drawer?
We tested before at Blend. We checked the quantity per order. For example, you order chips and another things, marketing, your consumers add 5 different products, and they if they forward to cart page, every time they need to back to product page, it will be very hard. So you can check your quantity per order data on the Shopify Analytics. For example, if you sell computer and use quantity per order one, and you can use a cart page, but we generally sell the different products. We always use the product recommendation modules, and in this case we suggest using the cart driver, and you can test it also.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm just going to take that one off now. Thank you. And Nermin, do you want to take us on to the next one, the final review that we've got today?
Yes, let me say the last one I would like to say, because someone filled the form. We highly recommend using the responsive websites, and we observed the some page is not a responsive on mobile, and if they check the visits come from the mobile device, they need to prioritize the design. I'm checking my notes. Again, they can place the before after case study or like a user generated content, because this content these products are related to Yotpo. And they can use thumbnails, again more content, more badge, on navigation, they client testimonials. At the moment, there's no client testimonials. I check at the search engine queries. Lots of visitor check at the brand name and the test user reviews in this case. And yes, I listed the 5 different ideas.
Excellent. And Matt, have you got any other thoughts on this one as well from you?
Yeah, so this is a bit of an industry, so I've been paying a lot of attention to this in terms of like, the infrared masks and all that type of stuff. So when you've got a core hero product, it's how you can get as much content from those customers as possible based on that, which they're doing and collecting the reviews. Because I presume these product ranges aren't going to be static forever. I'm not saying that static, but in terms of like one offering, I know there's other products in there, but one thing that you can really use all this review data for is moving forward is getting all that data, but then also knowing who's hyper engaged. So when you then combine with loyalty, so be it not a high frequency purchase, loyalty is still applicable. You can then target customers that have purchased based on what they've said to inform your as you expand as a business and go into new product ranges. And then we were kind of relating to like the current bodies of the world, which is similar, but with health being such a focus, I predict that these will, they'll scale quite quickly. So it's about how you can use your review data, get your loyalty data, or even just your shopping data if you don't feel you're ready for loyalty. So you can then engage that audience as you scale as a business to get early access to products or give them certain incentives. So it can really be based on like the scalability of the business based off the core product range. But with everyone being so health conscious at the moment, I've seen a lot of brands similar that have expanded, gone into different ranges. I think what was the Theragun? Yeah, one of those guns. Now people are buying these things they pull over their legs, anything that's relatable. And especially with these products being so relevant to us at the moment with those experienced sunlight for the last 3 months.
Cool. We've got another comment here, and I'm going to just bring on the screen. So Chris said, sorry to the show here. I noticed you are focused on mobile format review. I appreciate the majority of shoppers will be on mobile today, but we still have around 30% on desktop. If you view our store on desktop, you do get a different experience. So yeah, Chris was talking there about his store, which we reviewed there at the start, which was Indigo Silver. I think this is an interesting one, isn't it? I think even still now there is a tendency for us to focus on desktop when the reality is that majority of the time mobile users are the vast majority. But like Chris rightly points out there, you can't then forget the desktop experience and vice versa, I suppose.
Actually, yesterday I completed the new CRO audits, and I observed the same pattern. And 20% of the total visits come from the desktop. However, desktop conversion rate is double of the mobile conversion rate. But we prioritize the huge traffic, because if you change small thing with a huge traffic, you can reach the perfect case study easily. But yes, you need to always check the cross-device experience, especially for example, elderly people sometimes prefer using the desktop device because how can I say, the phone's size, and sometimes they decide the product on the mobile and later they have some concern because they need to use a credit card. They will prefer to complete the conversion order on the desktop. In this case, we prioritize the actually industry benchmark.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? And I'm sure, Matt, you guys observe the same thing. There is so much cross-device shopping now in a transaction that you can't prioritize one or the other. It's got to be both of the same, because they are going to come back to that on different devices, and making sure that you're looking tip-top and using all the features you've got as much as you can on both forms.
100%. And then also the whole new, well, it's not new, it's that whole connected with omnichannel as well, and like how you utilize all this data with your Shopify POS and how you carry a lot of the journey you've created online, offline. And I think that's going to be a coming trend as we go throughout this year. How can we optimize that conversion rate offline and on if you've got those customers shopping across all 3 channels, mobile, website, and in-store? Absolutely. And others as well.
No, indeed. And guys, at this point, I just want to say, look, thank you so much to both of you today. There's been so much gold in here, brilliant. And I hope obviously anyone who is listening to this has either been taking notes or logging this in. But if you haven't, it's not a problem at all. We do have the recording that is going to come out to you. And what I do want to say is that immediately after today's event, what we are going to do is get in touch with email. We will send you both the recording of today and the slides. So you've got those obviously as a reference point. Both Matt and myself are also going to reach out to you with some additional bits and pieces that will be helpful when you're kind of considering your CRO plans. And ultimately as well, look, if you have got questions about what you're doing on site, about any of the features that Matt has talked about from a Yotpo point of view, we are absolutely here to help. So do get in touch with us via email, ask those questions, get some information, and we are more than happy to help. So guys, at this point, I just want to thank everyone who joined us today. And if you are watching on record, I hope you have enjoyed this webinar. And again, massive thanks to Matt and also to Nermin for joining us and running the show as well today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot. Take care all. Bye now.